Hello and welcome to Scion Origin Ultra, the same Scion Origin but kind of streamlined. Streamlining the rule set for Scion, not only within itself, but also to connect it with all the other story path guides, story path systems, or games that use story path. So before we really get into Ultra, we need to talk about who we're going to be playing in this lovely, lovely game we have today, because it is their story. And so without further ado, let us introduce the players, who they are, their pronouns, and who they will be playing today. And let's start with who I am now calling my forever Scion player, who has been in every Scion game that I have done this weekend, who has been exposed to my chaos way more than anyone else should, Jacob.
Hello, I am Zachary Naldra, he, him. I can be found on the various places on the internet, mostly the Bird app at Zach Rules. You can see it below my face here somewhere. If you go to a social media place and it's Zach Ruiz instead of me, it's because he got there first. Try Zach Rules Dice, or I'm just not there. I am going to be playing Jacob Alder, also he, him, created daughter of Sosi Quetzal.
Beautiful. Uh, let's jump over to Edwin.
Hi, Edwin Wessels, he, him. You can find me on Twitter as Pilgrim. I cannot even remember it at the moment. I will be playing as Nicholas James Hardington, the son of Tiamat.
Lovely. And last but certainly not least, Bianca.
Hey, my name's Bianca, she, her, and this is my first time playing Scion, and my first game for Onyx PathCon. I hope everyone who's watching here have had a lovely time the entire weekend. I'll be playing as Roisin, daughter of Morrigan, whose pronouns are also she, her.
Lovely. As I have mentioned every time when I talk about Scion, Scion is a game of legends and humanity, where humans react to legends and legends do the same way. A game where teenagers take their parents' cars, drive down the road, say Bloody Mary 3 times, into the mirror, Bloody Mary appears, and chases them in the cars. Like, this is how they react to each other. Scion Ultra is the same game that we know and love, but has a few changes, simple changes, like changing verbiage of like success to hits, making it a little like easier for people to understand, to bigger systematic changes, like you gain enhancement when you take damage rather than like gaining complications, as so the heroes are more resolved to win the fight the deeper the fight goes, which is great for me because that just gives me more reason to hit my players, to cause damage to my players. I would never do that. I'm not doing that today. Of course, I have no plans for them to be attacked, because really what we're doing is a simple story about Rogine and her friends looking for a haunted house to stream. And we begin in a small town. Rogine, well, first of all, who would have been driving between the three of you?
Definitely not me.
Rogine, I think you're driving.
Okay, it might not be with a license, or it might be very poorly, but you know, it's fine. Which side of the road are we supposed to be on?
The right side.
Okay, that's cool. You know, it might be sometimes catching off guard, going like, oh yeah, no, it's supposed to be on the right side of the road, like trying to lean onto the right side to make sure to drive on the same path. Might have had several heart attacks and such, but okay, we'll get there.
It takes
somehow.
Takes a while for you to get there. Luckily, about an hour into the trip, you are no longer in city roads. You're in these like dirt roads. As you're looking for this small town, and it was actually kind of weird finding the small town. It was on some of the maps, not all of the maps. But after about a 2.5 hour trip, you make it. It's about 3:30, and you have promised your streamers that you are going to a famed haunted house to celebrate having 100,000 followers. Slight issue
Yes.
though. You don't really know where the haunted house is. You know it's connected to this town, but you don't know which house it is. And so you arrive. Um, this town, even though everything is modern, seems like a weird old west, kind of like a cowboy town.
All right. I suppose that's one way of finding out is to try to ask people around, maybe have some like information on the phone, and just go like, okay, well,
I mean, so one way to look is check for cars in the driveway. We can just eliminate any of those houses.
There are no driveways. Everything is dirt roads at this point. You see, and you have seen 2 vehicles on your way into the town.
I'm out of my element here. There is way too few pieces of civilization here. That was the only shot I got at finding out which one was the haunted house, honestly. Maybe we could ask folks.
Yeah, I mean, how did you find the haunted house anyway, Rishi? Did you just find it on the internet or something?
yeah, it's like I got this recommendation because it was nearby another convention that I had just gone to for like promotion, and so I got the recommendation of like, oh, you should do this for the celebration. Also hitting a milestone. Ooh, behind the scenes, people. Ooh, I say into the camera as well.
So,
I mean, maybe the house that has like dirty shutters and doesn't cut the grass. I don't know.
I mean, I take it we all have phones, so we can just Google the place and see for a haunted house there, right? Or is it literally not even listed online?
You can Google it.
Yeah.
But when you Google it, you do get 3 different results. One result is in a country southwest of where you are.
Perfect. That one is a no-go. The other 2?
The other 2 simply says this town. And then another one has like it's like 4-hour trip northeast.
Do we see anyone in this little town?
You do see, now that you mention it, there are a lot of people in their windows, like looking at you.
Well, I'm not sure I feel comfortable trying to wave them
Fair
out.
enough. Are we parked somewhere?
I assume you're just kind of like on the side of the road right now, like figuring out like, is that the house? That house kind of.
Is there a downtown area?
Yeah, you say that.
Diner, church,
Yeah.
something to stand out and pretend to. All right, I would suggest we go there and
Yeah.
we'll get out of the car.
Mm-hmm. And doesn't take you very long. It's not a very big town. There is like a strip that has a diner / bar. At the end of the strip is a church. There seems to be some sort of like a clothing store. So this seems to be what amounts to the downtown area.
Seeing as it's been a while, most likely since we've been in the car, diner, grab something to eat, drink, ask around there. That's a good idea to start.
Yeah.
All right. You walk into the diner and the proprietor is willing to serve you, but a strong willing. Like they do not want to serve you.
Right, that's a bit strange for a business.
Mhm.
You know, how do they keep afloat if they don't really like, or maybe it's just locals only and they don't like people coming in. Sometimes tourists can ruin a lot of things. So maybe that's also an indication of how rowdy people might be in a place that might not support that kind of activity. I suppose I can ask them if they do they get a lot of people visiting this town for their haunted house.
So you mentioned that, and he just kind of like rolls his eyes. Yeah, there's always some group of people trying to find that haunted house.
Trying to find it, as if as in locating it. Are you saying that is it here or is it not here?
Oh no, it's very much here.
Does
But-
it move?
No, it doesn't move. We just don't want it to be well known. Because every time tourists go to that house, that Bloody Maria starts acting up again, and we are the ones who have to deal with it.
Bloody Maria.
I get that. Yeah, no, yeah. You don't want people messing around with the ghost, get her all riled up. She gets done people and still has it leftover energy and messes with y'all, right? That kind of thing.
And he looks, he's like, you get it. Yes.
Yeah. No, yeah, I get you.
And we've been trying to get rid of that ghost for years, and we almost had it. And then this YouTube thing happened, and tourists keep coming in, like trying to take videos of her. I want to take a point to mention that while Scion is a game of legend, especially in Origin, you all like believe in or these things, possibly have seen them, but like a good 95% of haunted houses are not haunted. There are ghosts in Scion. That doesn't mean everything that everyone says is haunted is in fact haunted.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, we're just here to kind of see the house itself. Mind pointing it out to us?
That sounds like the first roll of the game.
Absolutely.
So if you would give me a persuasion is what I would recommend, but if you have a stronger or more applicable skill, that can also work.
No, we'll go with persuasion. Difficulty is 8, I believe, right?
If you
It
could,
is.
yes.
Yeah. 2 successes.
Hits.
All
2
right.
hits. Yeah, sorry. Hits.
So you get 2 hits. That is enough to buy off that's enough to buy off the success and the complications, the hit and the complication. So he looks at you and he's like, I like y'all. And it's the full moon, so I don't think she'll do anything. Yeah, no, I can show you where it is, but you have to go at night. I think I've been told that she doesn't move around on the full moon. She's busy doing other things, or I don't know what Maria does. What?
So, kind of taking one step back, what can you tell me about the legend of Maria, who she is, etc.? Because everything we looked up, it's like nothing there.
And you
So-
see, he's like thinking. It's like, I'm not, I'm no historian. If I'm not mistaken, Maria is a cursed child who cursed this town centuries ago. Her and her family lived in a big mansion up a little ways, and in order to like maintain their prosperity, they cursed the town, and we're still dealing with that curse today.
I mean, sounds fun. Sounds like you guys have a nice little watcher looking out for you, so to speak.
I mean, if you want to burn down the house, be my guest. I don't think anyone would mind it at all.
I mean, burning down the house doesn't mean that they'll be gone then, most likely.
Yeah, that's what they keep telling me.
Besides, have you actually seen her in person, or is it all still hearsay? Because we all know that haunted houses technically don't exist.
I've seen the curse. Like this town is cursed. What more evidence? I don't need to go in and antagonize the ghost who is cursing our town.
How does the curse manifest?
This is supposed to be a rich, lush forest. And you all actually would have noticed that, like, as you came in, there was like large trees, and as you got closer, the trees died down to the point where like you are now essentially in a desert bowl, like a small pocket of desert.
Yeah, no, yeah, I get that. Okay.
I mean, it could also be pollution, you know, big companies, corporations, stuff like that.
Hmm. Give me a culture roll.
With, because I don't have culture, so that's good.
Cunning or intelligence, whichever you feel.
Definitely go cunning. 1 hit.
So, that is what we call a success with complications or with consequences. You are able to convince him, but he is a little upset because he has sent his children off to work away from here. Many of them work for the big corporations, and so you can see the struggle within him. It's like, you maybe you're right, but how? What am I supposed to do about? And you see the conversation slowly coming to an end as he's like trying to figure out what to do with the children who are now, in his mind, causing the problems.
I do kind of want to put him back more in his comfort zone. So I'll basically say, look, we all know most stories, haunted houses, if you go outside, it's literally done for Halloween, those kind of things. He pointed Brochure, what? I cannot remember your name. Sorry, Bianca, your character's name. Sorry.
Roisin.
So he points at Brochure, and basically she's been to several of them, debunked several of them, like that they're not really haunted houses. So don't worry about it. Most likely, once she has checked it out, it's all just hearsay. Once more, no curse.
Well, if y'all make it back tonight, I'll get y'all a free pie. How about that?
Sounds good.
That sounds lovely.
What pie are we talking about?
It's like he yells back, like, "What do we have?" And someone yells back, "Meat!" A meat pie.
Oh.
Definitely sounds good.
All right. I guess.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I might want to add is just to tell him that we, of course, want to be as respectful as possible to the locals. So it's very important for us that we treat the haunted manor with the respect and also that if they want, is there a particular want that he feels that maybe is the popular opinion of the area, as in, like, do they want it to be debunked? Do they want people to maybe treat it a little bit more with respect and not so sensationalized? Trying to get a bit more of a feeling of what the general stance is, and if he might be in his opinion is the popular one, or if it's an unpopular opinion.
So he would communicate, essentially, everyone here is under the belief that the person who is haunting that mansion is actively cursing this town. They've tried multiple things to get rid of that specter, including calling people to exorcise her. They're like, maybe if we just don't give her attention, it'll work, but like nothing's really worked. So they kind of want they want the end goal for her to stop cursing. And so you'll find some people who are like, you shouldn't even go there. You'll find some people be like, no, it's okay to go there, but like be respectful. But mostly If you like keep pushing, it would someone or he would say, "Yeah, actually, I don't really know what she looks like. No one's ever survived seeing her, so that's why we don't know what she looks like. Although I guess I don't know anyone who's gone in the house, so that is the what you would get. He would also say, if you want to be respectful to the locals, kind of hang out here. Because it would take you a while to convince them. Also, if you want to buy more meat pie, that's good for me.
Sounds good. So before we go anywhere, is there any place we can look up about the house? Like read up or do some research?
We do have a library. If I'm not mistaken, there was that thing about a decade ago where we, admittedly, not a great idea, we went in and tried to destroy most of the books pertaining to the house. But there might be something still left there.
Is Bloody Maria, is that like a Bloody Mary thing? Like you say the name in the mirror 3 times or 5 times or however many times you want to do it?
And he looks at you, and you can tell he's like trying to bloody give me an empathy. Cunning roll
Empathy and cunning.
or occult, whichever is more applicable.
That would be empathy. That is 3.
3 hits. That is a success. In the span of a minute, he has done the facial movements to show that he has remembered what he was trying to say, but then immediately forgets. And after a minute, he starts talking about something else as if you didn't even have the previous conversation.
Uh-huh. What about Candyman?
Interesting.
My son told me he saw that movie. He said it was pretty good. He wants me to come out and see it with him.
They're both good. There's the original, and then it's like a sequel, but they tell it as retelling. I just kind of gave away part of the story, didn't I? Oops. Sorry to partially spoil a movie that's been out for several years.
Yeah. And he seems like really excited. Yeah, it's like the first part of that conversation never even happened.
Interesting. I mean, sounds like we did. Can you point this out where the house is, just so that we don't get lost?
He's like, I won't go outside and point because if everyone else sees me pointing, things could go bad. But I can give you directions from here.
Yeah, please.
And so he essentially describes like, you go out of the town, you go up the road a little bit more, to the point where the grass and trees begin to come back. And then on your right, and especially if it's at night, you may have to like turn the car so you can like use your lights. There will be this wooden 2-story house. Will have like a front porch. I think it used to have a tire swing, but I think we took down that tree. But you'll see it, wooden 2-story house in the woods. That is the house you're looking for.
Thanks. Can we have some meat pie to go, please?
Of course, if you're willing to pay.
Yep.
So he goes to the back and makes it. You all have roughly 8-ish hours to spend. Do you just want to like hang out here, occasionally doing the live stream and like getting ready, or do you want to go to the library, do the research?
Definitely go to the library. Not sure
Yeah.
if the rest is joining.
Okay.
Grape is no good in a library. And who will hang out at the diner and talk to other folks as they come in to see if there's anything else that they might be able to pick up on, or at the very least, an attempt to settle the town's nerves. So
Yeah,
we
that
don't
was-
go up into the house and come out throw a car on fire. Because
So then I'm gonna have you roll a persuasion, leadership, or integrity, and presence. Because anytime people walk in, they're super happy to be here, and they look in, and then they see you, and that excitement very quickly drops.
that's
Uh,
one.
Regine, are you staying here, or are you going to the library?
Oh, I'm thinking that library might actually be an idea. Just so also to collect information while working on the script, whereas essentially writing the introduction stuff to it's like, oh, so here's the history about the mansion, and here's what we experienced when we were walking through, and then make really bad storyboards of things like, yeah, we need to reenact this scene and this scene, because it's like, if we want to be respectful for the locals, we shouldn't be filming them without the consent, and we didn't really do anything here. So it's just like doing some storyboards of like, okay, so we're gonna have to reenact this, but I think it'll be fine. Just like looking for info and working at the same time.
Gotcha. Okay, so then Jacob, you have failed. Now you can, it is not a disaster yet. Because you didn't roll a 1, did you?
I got one hit, so that's all I got.
Oh yeah, sorry. 1 hit. Right. So it is a failure. You can choose for it to be a disaster, gaining 2 momentum instead of the 1.
Would it still be 3 momentum because I have a specialty in persuasion?
I do not think so. Not in this system.
Okay.
Essentially, because you've failed, you would get the 1 momentum. But by taking the failure and the complications, you would gain 2 momentum.
I'll just take the complication and still succeeded with the complication.
Oh no, you didn't get enough to succeed.
Oh, I didn't get enough to succeed. Oh, and then yeah.
Yeah.
So then that would be the failure with complication either way. Then if I didn't succeed, right?
No, I think like if you just fail, you only get the failure state, but not the failure and the complication. So you would, if you were like picking the lock, you would just fail to pick the lock. You wouldn't fail to pick the lock and break it unless you choose to do the disaster.
I'll just take the failure.
Okay. So they come in, and as much as you try to like calm them down, it doesn't work. They are not hearing it. There is a small child who like runs up to you and like super excited. They see like a little tattoo poking out. They're like, but their parents quickly grab them back and no, we're not engaging.
This is not looking like a place I should try to set up a tattoo shop now, is it?
So you all go to the library. It sounds like you're doing 2 separate things. Where Nicholas, you're like looking for books, where Regine, you are kind of like storyboarding, like making sure you have all the important information.
Yeah, also also asking like, oh, did you find anything? Did you find anything? Just like, and then going back to storyboarding and writing the script.
How are you looking for this book?
So I kind of, if the rest agrees, want to use I think it's 1 momentum.
You have 5 at this point.
Yeah, but first I want to use an unobtrusive observer. Basically kind of not standing out inside the library, being part of it, etc. And then kind of approaching the person behind the counter, whatever, who is there, asking for some information. And then use Flawless Observer as well for the research.
Gotcha. And what does Flawless Observer do?
So Flawless Observer, during procedural play, when you look for clues using analysis, surveying, or research approaches, add Watcher, halved, rounded up enhancement to apply any of the finding clues, stunts, or any procedural stunts you may have from Birthright or Magic.
Gotcha. So very early on, you do learn something. Even with your penchant for being unobserved, as soon as you mention the house, like they very quickly like turn to you and say, no, you're never going to, like, we got rid of all those books. But then they subtly kind of like look to the back in the architecture section, and then it goes back to like what they were doing. And so with your Flawless Observer, you're able to tell that there's probably still a book that they legally well, that they didn't get rid of for like legal reasons or whatever, that
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily relate to Bloody Maria,
But
but
Mortal
relate.
itself.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. We'll start digging there. See if I can find it or not.
And because you have like 8 hours, yeah, like you will eventually find it. And it's talking about, it's a very, very old book. Talking about how the town once was. One, the town was much larger. Two, this was an agriculture town. Something that definitely can't happen now based on the complete lack of water and everything. And that house was actually the former mayor of the town, which would explain why it was so much larger than everything else.
So with that information, we go back to Rasheen, lay it out for her so that she can possibly use it for her Twitch stream if she wants to provide some background information in regards to the house. And just see what how her storyboard is coming along as well.
Yeah, like try to show it so it's like trying to put the town in a sympathetic light, and then also there's like lots of question marks haphazardly placed where it's just like maybe we write for sensitivity and things like that, and just asking what their opinion, like what you two think, and when we should consider going there.
Okay, perfect.
Who are you asking?
My fellow travel companions.
Gotcha.
I mean, how long does roughly the research take?
It's about 10 when you're like, okay, we got everything we can get.
I mean, it was what, 1 hour drive or so to the house, or less?
Like 10 minutes.
Okay, perfect. I mean, for all that I care, we can go now. We've got some pie to go. So
Yeah. Got quite a lot of meat pie. A bit sad that they didn't have lots of to drink. I'm already very thirsty, so that does not really help me.
I mean, we can ask Jacob to bring some drinks with him when we pick him up.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. I'm so thirsty.
Send a text message to Jacob that we're about to pick him up and ask him to arrange some drinks for us. Non-alcoholic, please.
But seriously, I think I am so thirsty that my skin is turning, like, I feel like my hands are turning into parchment and it actually like cracking. This is really bad.
And Jacob has built up a rapport with the tavern owner, so that wouldn't be very hard. Although, Rasheen, you do notice as you leave the library, someone is like throwing rocks at a crow that's just like standing outside the library.
Not very nice. What did the crow do?
These things are bad harbingers.
You know they have really good memories, so even if they are bad omens, you shouldn't treat them badly because then they will in turn also treat you badly.
Like, yeah, well, we've been treated badly enough. We don't need any more curses descending on this town.
Yeah, that's why, hurt people hurt, and sometimes you have to be the one to break that cycle.
They look at you and just kind of like, they walk away, not doing anything to the crow anymore. And then the crow just kind of caws and flies away to the northeast, technically in the direction of the house that you know about.
Ooh, okay, that is suspicious. I don't know how I feel about that. Ooh, I might keep it to myself and not tell my friends about it. Maybe make a little bit of a note to it on the storyboard. Like, oh, that would be cool. Maybe we can have that. And it's like, and I didn't tell my friends about this. Ooh, lots of oohs in the script, and I don't know. Yeah, that's wrong with that rendezvous.
All right. Well, unless we have something else to do, you know where the house is.
We'll go pick up Jacob and rescue him from the glances in the diner.
Which I would say at this time, because it has been like 8 hours, the glances have turned from like, menacing glances to curious glances to curious conversation to also like budding friendship, so long as you do not talk about the house.
So Jacob's had plenty of time to read whatever passes for a local paper, and has been caught up on current events in the area, and has been chatting about how it is outrageous that the ref made that call in the game against Mid-Satana U, Mid-Satana High. That was just completely uncalled for. This town got, this town's team got screwed over that one. That the community fair by our sisters of Perpetual Hope, that their biannual sale is garage sale is coming up, yard sale, and it sounds like there's going to be some lot of interesting things for sale there, and things along that nature.
Yeah.
Getting a sense, getting a touch, and feel for the people of the town, the heart.
Yeah. And from what you can tell, like they are genuinely happy. Most of the anger comes from exhaustion or frustration at being an agricultural town in a desert. And for some reason, whenever they try to like switch over to something else, something always stops them. Something always happens. And so left to their own devices, they're happy. There's the kids come back and start talking about like, do you do sports? Like, I want to learn how to play sports too. Yeah. But at about 10:05, you get the text. We're ready.
All right, well, I'm gonna get going. It's been nice meeting y'all. Good luck with that book report, little Johnny over there.
Thank you.
Stop giving your sister Sam such a hard time.
And
She doesn't
Sam's like,
deserve that.
yeah, Johnny, just like pushes him. Like, why would you push me?
You know you did, Johnny. You know you did. And go out and meet the rest of the group.
All right. You meet the rest of the group. Everyone piles in the car. Rasheen, you drive in the direction of the crow, which also happens to be the direction of the house. It is a full moon tonight, which, according to the proprietor of the tavern, the bar, means you are safe.
So, question for that. Um, additional resolution rules for momentum.
Yes.
Spend 2 momentum points. Change if no, that's not what I wanted. Spend 1 momentum to describe a story element in a scene that is now a fact.
Yes, I did forget to mention that. So you can say, spend 1 momentum and say, oh, we have floodlights, or oh, the guards forgot their guns.
Would it ruin everything if I said to spend 1 momentum so that we were off by 1 night and the full moon was last night?
No, wouldn't.
All right, I want to do that.
All right. So you're down to 4 momentum. And you all keep thinking, like, was it last night the full moon? Like, because he kept saying that tonight is safe, but also it's safe on the full moon. So either tonight is safe or the full moon is safe. Who knows? Unless all of this is like fake anyway. In your case, you're safe regardless.
Or bone regardless. And there's
Yep.
no safe night. Either or.
It's one of the
50-50.
two. And you look up and the moon, while could look full, is definitely not full. Like, we have begun. You look down and there are 23 crows just perched around trees as you pull up to the house.
That is a murder of crows.
That is a full murder of crows.
Full on mass murder of crows. I don't know what that number might mean. Does anyone know that rhyme?
Michael Jordan of Crows. That would be the goat of crows.
The goat of crows.
The goat of crows. Goats are sometimes symbolized with Satan. And crows are harbingers of the dead. Are we trying to get dark and spooky with this shit? Because I think I want to spook myself out a little bit just now. Thanks.
There's a little bit of darkness we're gonna veer into. Rasheen, this is it. This is what you've been waiting for. You have many of your people already in the stream waiting. You do have one. What do we call them? I think I have stream. One person who usually runs one stream runner who is not there tonight. She did mention that she'll be asleep, but she's gonna wish you the best. But there's a good 5,000 already, and you're expecting many more to show up in the stream.
Yeah. So just kind of all right. So is it Tat who is asleep? Because I really wish that she'd be here because she handles everything. But I will have to survive on my own. So I just go through the checklist that she left me when it comes to okay, so here are the things that I should be on the lookout for.
Roll a technology roll just for funsies.
Oh dear! Oh no! How can you do this to me? All right, technology.
Technology and intellect, I'll say. While Rasheen is doing this, what is Jacob and Nicholas doing?
Nikolai is literally just
Nikolai.
watching everything, and he'll get out of the car, lean against it while Rasheen is setting everything up, and just watching the crows, seeing what they're doing, and if they're literally just watching at the three of us.
Yep. Their eyes have not moved. The crows have a habit of searching around. No, trained on you all.
I'm grabbing one of the meat pies.
Okay.
He actually grabs a coin, and I'm gonna spend a momentum, and I'm gonna imbue the coin with Eyes of the Blind. Eyes in the Blind, sorry. And he'll put it on the car, So he kind of can see what the crows are doing as they're gonna enter the house as well.
Gotcha.
Jacob is meanwhile tearing off the crust of the meat pie and throwing it out for the crows.
And under normal circumstances, crows would like fight over each other to get that meat pie. They have not moved.
Wow, these crows really do not like the town's cooking.
I mean, I've had better pies, so don't tell them in there.
I didn't even know they made pies with meat until today.
See, first time for everything. You ready, Rasheen?
I think so. I'm having some problems, but so I got 2 successes,
Okay.
but also a critical one. I don't know if that's a crit fail or not, but
It is not. No.
okay. All
Uh,
right.
so
Okay, second try. Okay, I remember the password. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
you get 2 hits. There was one point where you were going to hit something that would have like erased the thing. Not a big deal, but it would have added like extra like 15 minutes. When the crow just go and you like snaps you out of it, and then you just go back and you just have to do the right thing. But everything is
See,
set
they're
up.
nice. They're nice. Don't worry about it.
Everything is set up. You are ready to start your stream.
Yeah. So go for just looking over the script, any last minute changes, yes, no, all right, preview finder, everything is all right and good. Hang on, let me just make sure that the light is correct, and we should be able to start. Ooh, spooky lights.
And so you begin to stream, you walk in, and you're, chatting with people, like saying, hi, welcome, this is the stream. You're like showing the house around. Do you all have lights?
I mean,
Flashlights, floodlights, what
I have a cell phone with a light on it.
that's one thing.
yeah. Check the car if there's a flashlight in there, perchance.
Oh yeah, there would be.
So he'll take that one with him.
All right. So you walk in, there is no door. It is a very old wooden house. You walk in, you can hear like squeaks. You can hear that there are like raccoons or other critters like living in the walls. That's honestly the scariest thing so far. Would you like to go to the second floor?
So while we're doing this, I kind of try to see through eyes and blinds what the crows are doing. Or did they literally follow us as we enter?
They follow you to the essentially like the line where the house enters. They do not cross that line, but they're lined up one after the other at the entrance, but they do not enter the space of the house.
So I have to just like get that and go like, oh my god, you guys seeing this? This is like so cool. Look at those birds.
Many people are super like, this is so cool. How did she do that? It must be special effects. No, that's really happening. I heard about that house. I've been there. One person is like, that's a bad sign. Get out. And starts like spamming it in chat.
I'm really sorry, but we're gonna have to put you on timeout. You shouldn't spam chat, okay? Everything will be fine. And it's not special effects. Crows are really intelligent.
So wait, the thing. So you're all on the first floor, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you look around the first floor. Most things are wood. You see there's a couple like bed frames, a decent amount of mirrors. But that's really all that you're seeing on the first floor.
What time is it roughly?
Given the like setup, we'll say it's like close-ish to 11.
Mirrors.
And there are mirrors.
Jacob's going to go and take a look at the mirror.
So one, you can tell that the people who used to live here were probably very well off. Like it's a very like ornate circular mirror. Possibly like gold or like brass or something. There does seem to be like some greenish rust, so it's probably like has some copper inlay in it. These like kind of black streaks have like come down from the top of the mirror, maybe just like rust from like rain seeping through.
Gonna take a look. Just kind of clean the mirror off a little bit. Can he set up so like there's two mirrors facing each other?
On the first floor, no, but the mirrors, there are a few mirrors that aren't too heavy.
So like he could hold one and look at it and see the mirror behind him.
Yep.
He's gonna do that and say Bloody Maria 3 times.
Okay, where is everyone else when this lovely, lovely thing is happening?
Look at what Jacob's doing. Oh my god. Can you explain to the chat what you're doing?
Bloody Maria, Bloody Maria, Bloody Maria.
And what you expect happens. Like there's nothing like really changes. You do feel like there is there's like weird colors outside, but you're also aware like that tends to happen when you stare at something for long enough. The brain just like inserts things. So
The mood lighting from the camera throws things off.
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, well, you know, I have to have it on because it's gonna be a little bit hard to show people else what's happening. Don't worry about it, it's fine.
He will carry around that hand mirror with him as he leaves this room.
Mhm.
And a salt shaker that he had pocketed is gonna just put a little line of salt on the doorway in that room as he leaves.
Nikolai will, Nikolai will while Jacob is doing that, will make his way upstairs.
You make your way upstairs. I need you to make me. What type of roll would I like? And either integrity or survival roll, and any mental stat of your choosing.
Cunning and survival. One, two, three hits.
3 hits. That is enough. You're walking and at some point you realize something. You have been just expecting 2 other sets of footsteps to be with you because there has been 2 sets of footsteps to be with you. Roisin and Jacob are not upstairs. They're downstairs doing this for the bear thing. So who are these footsteps with you?
He'll turn around. Roisin, you when you're done there, you might want to check out the extra set of steps that's going on in this house. Something that's most
Is
likely
there like
being...
an echo thing?
No idea, but it ain't mine.
It's like
Nice.
really curious. I kind of want to follow, and then just saying to the camera, it's like, and we know who would end up dead first in this if this was a movie, because we're now breaking up but I do think, hey, chat, let us know if we should do like a round tour of the house later on by ourselves. Because I think that would also be kind of fun to like end this this visit, is to have everyone walk individually through it.
And of course, Chaz like, yeah.
Jacob's gonna hold the mirror up towards the camera and like, hey chat, you think she's in here? Huh? You think she's in here?
Chat. At some point, you know, Chat's like, who's that little boy? When you're holding the mirror up.
Am I the only one who has like a phone with the chat up, or does anyone else also have it?
They could be like logged in chatting as well.
Jacob is not part of the chat.
And yeah,
Neither is Nicola.
So, yeah. They have access. They are not in.
He could, but he's not.
So I will then relay this to groups. Like, they keep talking about chat is mentioning a little boy. I don't know if they're just like trying to pull my leg or something, but they're saying something about the little boy. Okay, I'm at the steps now, so I'm gonna try walking up.
Jacob looks in the mirror.
And there is a little boy in what appears to be like 1700s dress, maybe even earlier. He's just looking up at you like curiously.
If I move where the mirror is, does the position of the boy change at all?
No. He seems like behind you and to the left about 2 feet, and if you look, like he's always in that position.
And if I turn, is he's consistently behind me and to the left and not
no apologies. He is consistently in that particular spot. So if you turn and keep the mirror safe, you will not see him anymore. But if you turn back, and then he's like right there.
Right there. All right. I'm gonna try to yeah, because there's a kid in the mirror. Hey kid, what's your name? Kind of like I try to make eye contact through the mirror.
And he mouths,
Sorry, I couldn't hear that. What was that, kid?
and then he points up somewhere. Nikolai, are you still upstairs by yourself?
Yeah.
He seems to be pointing at Nikolai, around Nikolai, and that, I mean, it's through a mirror, so it's hard to like triangulate.
Yeah, I know. Nikolai, there's a kid in the mirror pointing at you. He's gonna look back. He's not really here. He's just in the mirror. Not sure how that works.
Say that again. Kid, mirror.
There's a kid in the mirror wearing some old ass clothes, pointing at you.
I know Rasheen went out of her way with special effects, but this is kind of overdoing it, isn't it?
Hey, this is 100% authentic. I did not set up any special effects. Nicola, you stay up there, and I'll go back to Jacob to check what exactly is going on, because he said something about it being mirror only, so I'm gonna see if we can get that on camera. Okay.
Have fun.
So I'll be running back to Jacob and like, okay, can you hold up the mirror? Can you hold up the mirror? And then I will like look at it while also making sure that it is in
Jacob,
the like camera as well.
There's something on the mirror that wasn't there before.
Can I see what it is? Is it a boy?
You have lights. You have like flashlights, and it's some kind of like red liquid.
Is that in the mirror, or is that actually on the mirror? I think like points at the liquid, maybe even accidentally touching it.
It's kind of warm too.
Oh, shit, dude, this is actually warm. Did you spill like meat pie on this or something?
Jacob puts the mirror down. And just nopes right out to the car. Nope. We got ghosts. We got blood. This is there's something going on. This is.
Oh my god!
You try to go to the car. There's something in your way. You can't see it, but it feels humanoid in nature. Although when you like pull your hand back, there definitely is some of that like red liquid.
Because I said Bloody Maria, isn't it?
I try to run after Jacob and go like, "Oh my god, what are you doing?" It's like, stop it, because I don't see maybe that he is now also like partially covered in blood. I don't know, but I'm like just watching from behind, going like,
This
"What-
is not
what are
from
you
a damn
doing?"
meat pie.
By the way, the crows that were like outside, they're gone.
At what time did I see them leave? Was that around the time that Jacob was yelling about the boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And while it is like a close to full moon, clouds are in the sky. So it has been like slightly darker for the past little bit. As the clouds reveal, there is roughly a 7-foot tall woman, kind of covered in blood, tattered clothes, just staring at you all at the entrance of the door.
That's not really cool at all. It's like I was getting ready to try to address some of the messages in the chat about fakeness, but it's like, oh, I didn't hear the birds leave, and now they're gone. Special effects, fake. It's like, yeah, no, that is not really important anymore. I am just looking at this bloody figure.
Seeing as Nikolai is still upstairs, he'll kind of lean on the walkway. Look at the person that just appeared. He's actually just observing, not saying anything at the moment, just casually, literally casually observing.
Hi, we must have the wrong address. I'm sorry. We were looking for someone else. You're not the person we were looking for. I'm sure. We're just gonna go now. Go back to where we were. You're sorry for the interruption. You need it. We didn't break anything. But you know, I mean, the door was like this. I swear the door was like this when we got here.
And
If you
she-
want us to move the mirrors back, we can do that at least. But
He reaches
Really
up,
sorry.
and Jacob, you're the closest one to her, correct?
I am, yes.
She reaches up and is about to grab something in your facial area, but then her hand is stopped, and you notice there's like this ethereal chain that is like tugging at her. What do you do?
What's the cheat? So she's grasping menacingly at me.
I must say yes.
And the chain is stopping her from getting at me,
And even like pulling her back.
keeping her out of the house.
Like it's trying to pull her out of the house.
Okay, so here's some other things we could do. We can go out the back door if that's a problem. We can just bounce. It's okay. We were never here. We won't tell anybody shit. We didn't see nothing.
Moves with the left hand, like desperately trying to get at you.
Can we see where the chain goes to?
As it like leaves the entrance of the house, it just disappears.
Who's keeping you to the house? Nikolai will casual ask from upstairs.
And her like attention like veers up to you. And it looks like she's roaring, but you hear no sound. You also feel like the boards underneath you start to creak as if they're weakening.
He'll still not move.
Jacob's gonna grab the mirror and try to find little boy. Hey, little boy, where you at? Where you at? You still there?
Okay, so
Ghost boy.
you're looking for. Give me a. What role can we do to find the ghost boy? Because he is. Yeah, no, this is straight up occult. Let's go occult. That sounds. Nikolai is not moving. What is Roshin doing with this new predicament?
Oh, I bet that, in contrast to what I would do personally, which is, get out, she would probably be incredibly curious instead. We didn't find any mention or so, or anyone said anything about a little boy, so clearly there's more ghosts or something in this house.
Mm-hmm.
Than what we had initially thought. Not that nice that it's blood everywhere. I think you said that it looked like she was roaring, which means that if we try to communicate with her, she won't be able to say anything vocally. So I think one of the things I would then ask, where it's like, see if I can get a reaction at least, and ask if she is Bloody Maria, if that is her name.
So you say that to her, and the roaring stops. Jacob, you're the closest to her, right?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, and one success.
Yep.
So once again, you can. Oh yeah, one hit. You can do the failure, or you can do disaster. I would suggest not doing a disaster in this particular time, but that is up to you, as you would get 2 momentum.
What would a second hit turn this into a success?
A second hit would turn it into a success. You would still not have enough to buy off. You would a success with consequences would turn it into.
All right. I'm gonna spend momentum to get another hit and get that success with consequences.
Okay. So this is how this plays out. Nikolai, you notice as she is, for all intents, mouthing this roar, the floor below you gives out. So I need you to roll a reflexive defensive roll. Essentially take your highest resistance stat attribute and roll that many d10s as you fall down this, like, through the first floor.
That's 0 success, 0 hits.
0 hits. Okay. So
That's a momentum, right?
Yeah. The momentum. You fall through the first floor to the second floor, taking 2, or sorry, from the first floor like to the ground level, taking 2 injured conditions, which means you get a +2 enhancement on skills that you have a specialty in. Jacob, you find the little boy hiding behind the figure. However, she notices that you're staring at him and is now trained on you.
I just trying to help the kid out. You know, this does not seem like a good place to raise a child. Trying to get him out so that he can, not have reading is fundamental. And there's not a lot of books here.
And you can say like she has somehow like regained control or is like overpowering the chains and is about to catch you until Roshin. If I'm not mistaken, you asked this figure, "Are you Bloody Maria?"
Yes, I did.
And she's about to catch Jacob, and you ask that question, and she just stops and looks at you. I am going to need. Ooh, I need you to make me an integrity and intelligence roll.
All right, I got plenty of that actually. So here we go.
Are you?
And it's 8 and above, right?
Yes.
So 2 successes.
All right. Ooh. Okay. The ghost has 6 hits. As for the first time, you actually hear her scream. You are paralyzed from fear, as you know this entity is actively trying to kill you now.
Very well. Hopefully there are several windows with this building to
They-
keep myself out of.
Are a couple windows still there, as well as many of the mirrors, all of which explode.
Oh, that's lovely. I'd rather get scrapes than staying here, at least.
Unfortunately, because you're paralyzed, you can't move.
Then I will have to stay.
Jacob, Nikolai, what are you all doing? As like even Nikolai, you are aware that the mood has changed. Like as you like stand up, there is like blood seeping from the ground.
Does Bloody Maria's change in movement unblock the door?
Yes.
Boom! I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm driving. I'm running right out the front door.
All right. So you have run out the front door. Nikolai.
He kind of looks at the blood, then looks at the apparition. He'll actually make his way towards her. It's so still no sound, right? From her.
Actually, you would also need to roll because you would have heard that.
Was it intellect then?
Intellect and integrity.
Cool. That's just intellect. I'm actually gonna spend 1 momentum at least for 1 hit.
Mhm.
That's in total 5 hits.
If you would like to spend another one to make it 6, that
Yep.
might be.
I'll do that.
And so you're able to stave off. But it's very clear she is actively trying to kill you now.
Yeah, but he'll still make his way over towards her. Because she still has the chains that are kind of yanking on her, right?
Yeah, but the yanking seems way less effective right now.
I'm gonna try to kind of use my presence and empathy to kind of get through to her. That
Okay.
we're here to help her instead of working actively against her.
Okay, that will be an empathy and any social role and social attribute that you feel is good.
Yeah, I don't know how to use that. I might.
Rasheen, with this intervention, you have time to like recover from that paralysis.
Okay.
That's 7 hits.
With the 7 hits, it is a success, but it is success with consequence. Given all that has led up to this, plus a few things that happened in tonight. She is willing to listen, but is still very upset.
That's
Uh,
fine.
So she's about to attack you again, and she stops and moves to the left, revealing a wide opening in the door.
So
Asking us to leave?
I mean, Nikolai looks at Roshin. If you want to leave, go for it.
So I'm trying to interpret what she's doing. Like, what is that large opening? What does it look like?
It's weird, and Jacob, you will be the first to notice this. It was about 12 o'clock when, like, all this went down after just like messing around. The world outside looks different. The grass is purple. Or like a periwinkle pink. It's daytime. The sky is not blue, but this like shimmering gold.
What the? What did this? Damn it. Come to the haunted house. It'll be fun. We'll get a lot of views. You'll get to get publicity for your shop. Now I'm in this. I pull up my phone. Do I have a signal?
No.
Is the car there?
No. The only thing you see is in the distance, there is, for now, we'll say an entity holding chains and pulling. And they're like gesturing to you this way.
If I looked in the direction of the town, could I see the town from here?
Yep.
How's the town look?
About the same. Although, now that you think about it, like there's more greenery around the town.
Ghost. Unknown entity with chains. Ghost. All right. He's gonna head towards the unknown entity holding the chains.
And you see this lovely woman with large black wings accented with like blues and pinks and purples. And she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you made it. I was so concerned for you all when you went in."
Thank you. Don't mean to be rude. What the fuck is going on?
Oh, you must be so confused. I'm Angelica. Nice to meet you.
Lovely meeting you, Angelica.
I would love to explain. I just want to make sure your friends are okay because that bloody Maria's, she's so angry and she's gonna try to kill them for sure.
Okay. So do you need help pulling the chains or something, like to pull her out of the way so they can get out?
No,
Or-
just if you could just get them, like I can get her out of the way, but only for a short time. If you can get them out.
I'll run up to the door and be like, "Get the fuck out now!" There was an entire movie about it. An entire Get Out, Us, Nope. There's an entire series of movies by Jordan Peele that explains what we should be doing. Us, Get Out, Nope the fuck out of here.
Okay, hearing that, it just means yes, we're out. Please excuse us. Very sorry about moving the barriers without asking. Okay, goodbye.
And so Rasheen will escort herself out.
Nikolai will continue watching her and then
Mhm.
slowly make his way towards the exit. He'll definitely make no sudden movements until at least Roshin is safely out.
Mhm.
But he is definitely curious about this. It's like he's watching and observing her, like trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
Give me a final empathy cunning roll.
I like how the word final wasn't using that.
I don't know why.
Hmm.
I just say words sometimes. They don't have meaning.
8 successes. Sorry, 8 hits.
Yeah, no. As you walk, you're like paying special attention, and a few things come to mind because this is in fact an extraordinary success. One, you can see the little boy now, and she is always placing herself in front of that little boy. Two, as you get closer and closer to the exit, the face turns from just furious rage to concern to even pity. And as you exit, there may be just the hint of a farewell on her face.
Can I just, before I step out, use a momentum imbue another coin and toss that in there? And so the look that she was giving him before he just stepped out, because I might just want to retract that with the whole pity and stuff like that and concern. He kind of, do I see the person that is the Angelica person? Do I see that one now?
Yeah, and Angelica's like, come this way.
He actually points towards her and then turns back to Maria, and he basically mouths prisoner.
Ooh. Maria will turn away. The little boy will give you a teddy bear. And you hear the words "thank you" as they both disappear. And you enter this golden skied, purple florid area.
Okay. He'll come back holding a teddy bear all of a sudden. The teddy bear, how old is it roughly? As in 1700s?
It looks to be the style of the 1700s, but it appears brand new. It also appears to be ghostly. So
It's fine.
and then Angelica sees that and she just like hisses like, get that away, and like knocks it away.
He
And
keeps it.
that's a clash of wills, or clash of wills. That's a clash. Because Angelica, regardless of what you is going to attempt to knock it back.
It's fine. I'll use Dex and Athletics to try to avoid it.
All these dice and only that many? That's not good.
3 hits.
And Angelica got 2. And so you're able to just like dodge it away. And she's like, I apologize. I would suggest getting rid of that. That's a cursed place, a cursed entity. And keeping that will only bring curses to you and the people who you are with. But I apologize. I'm glad you all made it out.
Can I
So wait,
use
the bear?
I-
The bear was cursed the whole damn time. The little boy and Bloody Maria were cursed by a teddy bear.
No, they are the curses, and they're spreading their curses to everything they touch, including their house, their toys. This isn't even a bear; it's just a mass of cursed energy.
Can I use a cunning and empathy on her to see if she's speaking truth or not?
Yeah.
Because considering of the reaction of Maria just before I stepped outside with the prisoner, the boy giving me the teddy bear, I'm kind of having my doubts on who the good guys are and who the bad guys are.
Give me that cunning empathy roll. Roshin, the worst thing that could possibly happen happened. You no longer connect to your stream.
No!
6 hits.
Oh, yeah, that is an extraordinary success. If you had just heard this, you might be tempted to think that Angelica was telling the truth. The way that she came at the teddy bear was not it was not one of protection. It was not, I need to get this away from you. It was out of sheer malice towards this and anything it represented, including that little boy and likely Bloody Maria.
So considering that I still have eyes in the blinds inside the house, can I see anything in there, or has that now literally turned without anyone present?
The only thing that you can see is that if you look outside the house, it is not this like golden skied purple background. It is, nighttime. And wherever like you all came from, like you can see the car. Seems like if you are trying to get back, that house is the way to do it.
Cool. So he'll turn towards Angelica, considering he still doesn't know her name. Mind telling me who the fuck you are, why the fuck you pull us out of the house, and why the fuck you keeping them prisoner?
Prisoner? I keep them locked in there so they don't attack anybody out here. They're dangerously horrible criminals. And I apologize. My name is Angelica. I'm the protector of this land.
Angelica, why are the people in town fucked? Like the desert in the middle of the woods.
The people here, they're living a great life. I would love to show them to you if you'd like.
No, not like we are clearly in some place that is not where I came from. This is
Yes,
not
that
this
is
is not Kansas,
true.
Toto.
The reason the people where you are from are not doing well is because of Maria. She continues to curse them, and I am simply too weak to stop the curse. So it is the most I can do to keep her locked in that house.
So if she got out of the house,
she would spread her curse everywhere.
Everywhere.
Is there a way to stop the curse then? Because I can't imagine it being like nice for her to be spreading the curse.
Oh, you're treating her like a person. She's just pure evil. There is no humanity in her.
How can you be so sure?
And I'll call bullshit on that statement.
She's already gotten to you, hasn't she? I'm so sorry I wasn't able to get there soon enough. Trust me, you spend some time here, we will relieve you of this curse and you can live a happy life in this town.
Now
I'm sure
I know.
it's a lovely town, but we do have our entire lives at the other side of that house that we would want to get back to at one point or the other. The best thing, of course, would be to resolve this in a manner that would be beneficial to like everyone, your party and ours included.
Unfortunately, I can't allow that. The more she kills, the stronger she gets, and I can barely keep her at bay as it is.
You are the curse, not her. You are the curse.
What?
And she Bloody Maria tried to kill y'all. She helped us. What are you talking about?
Angelica just made the statement that she wants to keep us here inside the city without us leaving.
I don't want to keep you here. I think it's the safest for everyone.
Well, no, because actually, he's kind of right. We can leave because Bloody Maria didn't kill us, so we can just leave and get out, and then she doesn't get more power from us.
Like, why does it have to end with our deaths? Why is that the assumptions? We haven't even tried to do anything yet.
I mean, you could try to go back through the house, but if you die because she kills you, and I can no longer keep her at bay, then the world dies. Is that what you want? That's not what you want.
Bloody Maria was protecting most likely either her sibling or her son inside the house.
You're giving her too much credit. She uses that to trick kind-hearted people.
I'm not a kind-hearted people, but I saw how she looked at me when I stepped out of the house.
Angelica's still holding the chain.
Mhm.
Yes.
One hand, two hands.
Essentially what it is, she has them like it like lashed to her, but you can tell she is controlling it.
So like if she were to, she couldn't. So she could still grab us in
Yes.
without dropping the chains.
She would have less control over the chains, but she could drop the chains and then grab you.
Right, but it like if she grabbed us, the chains like wouldn't like run off because
Right.
Maria's freeze. Okay.
So I would like to make I would like to tell Jacob about something that I noticed when we were heading out. That even though she was incredibly angry and I felt like definitely murderous rage coming off her, at that one moment she did step to the side. That is not something that chain pulling does. That is something that she did. She stepped to the side and essentially let us out. I think that there might be something bigger going on. But I don't know if that's our place to try to solve or not.
I mean,
but obviously we can't stay here because I mean this is gonna look really bad for me. This
Angelica, so they're saying that Bloody Maria could have killed him, but didn't. But then thought it was okay for us to come here. Like she just let him. She figured whatever she could have killed him, and instead this coming out to meet you, Bloody Maria thought that was a better option for someone.
I don't understand what goes through Bloody Maria's mind. I have stopped long ago. I was once like you. I tried to find the humanity, but Blood Maria is just a curse and will kill you all in order to gain power. So how about this? Instead of keeping you here forever, we'll just let you stay here until we figure out a way to end this.
I think the only way to end this is with you letting go of the chains and setting her free. And he'll actually grab the teddy bear and he hold it in front of him and he walks straight up to Angelica, knowing how she reacted before.
Yeah, she's gonna take another swing at it.
I'm actually gonna spend momentum to make sure that she's not gonna get that hit in, but yeah, let's go.
So we'll say you can spend momentum to change the scene, not the actors.
No, I'm not. I'm
oh, you just add to like, gotcha.
Yeah.
So, reminder: we got one momentum left after this.
Oh yeah.
So y'all need to start feeling some rolls.
This is much better.
I hope for you because I'm
at 7 hits.
I'm at 6 with including the one momentum. So
then you should keep that momentum.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's a success regardless. She like knocks it away, and you feel like even though she barely like touched you, like you are bleeding. You don't not like a bruised condition bleeding, but like there was some viciousness in that swipe.
Yeah, so you're the curse, not Maria.
I apologize. I cannot allow myself to be cursed by her. I am charged with taking care of the people who live here.
How far away is the town?
We don't live here though, so I guess this
Town,
might
the
be
same
where
thing.
we will part ways.
I'm gonna head over to the town.
Okay. And so she's coming. It doesn't take you very long. You get to the town.
Hey, everybody, we're leaving. We're bouncing. We're getting out of here. Just yelling it out as I walk through the town, trying to get people.
And you get a very similar reaction. Many of the people are hiding, just like looking at you, not actively coming out.
Come on out.
You
We're
walk
gonna-
by the
We're
tavern.
gonna leave.
Someone who looks distinctly like the tavern owner where you're from pulls out and says, "Hey, is she here?
Would she?
The one with the black wings.
Yeah.
Come here.
Yeah. Comes over. What's up?
You got to get out of here. Don't let her get her claws in you."
We're not that. But see, what I figure is y'all are stuck here as well, and we just all like bum rush it. She can't stop all of us.
We tried that. Whenever she does that, she attacks Maria. Maria's the only thing keeping us alive.
Well, I mean, so yeah, but maybe we by doing this we cause some chaos. We cause things to get messed up. Give Maria a chance to get a couple good shots in.
Give me this is straight up. I feel like this is a leadership. You're like leading the town. Leadership presence.
Can I go with persuasion on this?
Yeah, that works.
That is 2 hits.
Okay, so that is a success with consequences. They they've talked about it for a while, they've been afraid, but with you coming and rallying them, they feel like they can do it. There is some hesitance with them, and so the bum rushing will not be as coordinated as you would like, but they are ready.
It'll be chaotic. Lovely. Let's do this.
Can we
All right.
get a last chance for a rousing speech then?
Yeah,
Nikolai never left Angelica. He
yeah. Nikolai and Roshin are
Yeah.
still with Angelica.
Mhm.
Okay. So we're still there, and how is Nikolai doing? You said that she had swiped at him, and it was nasty.
There's a lot of blood pouring from the wound.
Right.
Nikolai himself seems to be unfazed. He's literally just staring at Angelica like it's a staring. Like he's watching her, like almost like he's method. It kind of like taking note of how she's reacting, where she's looking at, etc.
That's cool. I'm angry for you because she just swiped my friend for no good reason at all. So that
Roshin,
is not okay.
that pebble that you had kind of slips out of your pocket.
Okay. Do I notice it?
Yeah, you do.
I'm gonna have to pick it up again because it was a really shiny pebble and I liked it.
And it's giving you comfort in this moment.
Does it help me calm down?
No, actually the other way around. Like it's giving you comfort in this, like in the rage.
Right. So this anger that I feel is justified,
particular-
essentially.
Particularly this anger in protecting your flock, so to speak.
All right. So I might take a step forward and say, you really are not convincing anyone with that act anymore.
I
You really
do-
think that we believe that a protector would strike at the supposed charge for no reason like that?
I apologize, but he was coming at me with a curse. If I am cursed, the world dies.
Maybe you need to be cursed to set the world free, considering that you're keeping everything in here. Because I know that on the outside, the world is moving along without any issues. You pulled us into a different realm.
What?
Yeah,
I
you.
would never. Jacob, at this time, you and the entirety of the town start marching.
we are kind of creeping up on.
Gotcha.
We're waiting for the moment. We're trying to get so that we're not, marching right up to Angelica. We're kind of, not
Okay.
getting her attention. And then we can make a break for it once she figures it out. But
All right. So then what we will say, Angelica is quickly trying to change the topic, but is apparently not doing it. And so eventually, yes, she will drop her act and say, you know what? You're right. I am keeping Mary here. She was a fool of a Scion who thought she could best me. And look what it's cost her. And if she couldn't best me, what do you all think you can do? So let's make it very easy. You're going to live here. You're going to have all the things you could want. You're going to have life, and that's it.
Even though it sounds enticing, I've stared death already. Your words mean nothing to me.
You stared death. You haven't stared me. She is very much going to try to impale you.
Oh, that's not cool, man.
Nikolai, if you would roll me a defensive roll,
Mhm.
and you can do full defense because this is technically a surprise round. So yeah, sure, why not?
Does that add anything to it, or?
Full defense is you roll twice the amount of your defensive roll.
Well, let's add a momentum to that. As in, we got a free momentum out of it.
Gotcha. So based on that, Rasheen, you watch as this angelic looking person rams her hand through Nikolai's stomach. That is another injured condition.
Yeah, okay, there.
And I think
I'm gonna have to strike back. That's not cool. I'm so angry.
this is initiative time. So once again, with initiative, you roll your highest combat skill. So it can be close combat, but it can be medicine and whatever you use for combat, and then the highest of either might or dex. However, the way initiative works this time, rather than it just being like, you go on your turn, the highest person goes first, and then they choose who goes next. So they can choose to like have the entirety of your group go at the same time, or they could be like, I want Angelica to go, and then Angelica would choose who goes next. 5. Well, then we're going to say at the very least, it's not me because my initiative isn't even that high.
Not really have anything that is combat except for maybe that shiny pebble and my physical attributes.
Mhm. Okay.
It's just a 1.
1. Okay. So Jacob and Nikolai, you both got 5. So you can decide who goes first between you two.
Let Jacob go first.
at the moment, Jacob is trying to get people to sneak out past Angelica. So probably does not. His action is probably not as relevant to what's going on in the scene. So
Gotcha. So then roll me another leadership or I guess persuasion presence roll with 1 complication because of the success with consequences earlier.
that is 3.
Great. All right. It takes a little doing, especially after they witness a human being get impaled by this thing. But you get them calmed down, and they slowly start to like sneak through. And now you choose who goes next.
Nikolai is going to go next.
Considering I don't have any real combat. I literally created a non-combat character. Good fun.
Same here.
I think it's all three of us. He'll actually does he notice the fact that Jacob is getting the other people out?
I'm going to say yes, because it is like an entire crowd, and even though they're like sneaking, it's like an entire town. So you all who are like facing the town would be like,
So are you going to be okay if I use present empathy and kind of mock her into oblivion about how pathetic of a person she is? Kind of drawing the attention to him, knowing fully well what could happen,
yeah,
but using it in the moment like, you're just pathetic.
yeah, you won't even need to roll for that. Like, I think it takes a special kind of person to mock you while like their hand is through you. And you can see like the same rage that Blame Maria had is like going through her, and she is getting progressively more furious. But with that, she has no chance of noticing anyone else. She doesn't even notice.
I'll actually want to add something to it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically say, you chain Maria because you think you're better than her. She is the better person than you.
Ooh. You even hear one person from the crowd go, "Oh!" So like, shut up, Dave.
I'll snap.
Ooh, yeah, like she is fixated on you. She doesn't recognize Roshin. It is only you. Who would you like to go next?
I'll let Roshin go next.
Roshin, you don't mention this. You don't notice this, but some other people will. Your nails have become slightly longer. You have what is akin to like very small, feathery like appendages.
So I'm wondering, you said that the chains on her were like attached.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they were chains attached to her in one arm or both of them?
One on
'Cause
each.
I am considering trying to strike at the chains to help free Maria. As this is the message that I am getting essentially from Nikolai's sacrifice, essentially, is that, you know what? If we don't survive this, at least this might be our best chance of survival. And I am going down, kicking and screaming and trying to recruit the best potential ally that we could have.
All right. So then what we will do is have you roll an attack roll. What is your best like attack skill that you could use with feathery bird-like claw arms?
Attack skill. Only thing that I can think of maybe is try to somehow use either subterfuge or academics in finding a good weak point to strike at.
Okay, yeah. Academics, I can see that because you're not like stacking, you're looking to like where's the weakest point on these ironish chains. Yeah. Academics and might or dex, perhaps?
Yeah, both of them are equal.
Okay, yeah. So roll that many d10s, and then we'll see if you can disarm these two chains.
So how do you use momentum?
So you can choose to use momentum and it will add a hit.
Okay. So, because I think that this feels like a very critical point to use.
You can also use momentum if you want to change anything about the scene. You can be like, oh, there is a chink in the chain, or something along those lines.
All right. So I got 2 successes And I would like to believe that in that moment there was as if the stars had aligned and the if any gods were looking at us and wanting for us to succeed, that they would then have shown me where exactly to strike for the best chance.
Clarification question. Are you using a momentum to alter the chains in any way?
Yes, this is how I'm trying to
Yes.
alter it to give me a bit more of an
So-
advantage.
You go and you cannot find a place, but you see there is one play where there is a chink in both chains. Possibly in, Maria's attempt to free herself previously. With those two hits, you're able to buy off this disarm momentum for both. You don't do any damage, but you're able to destroy the chains, which is very interesting because even though she is highly focused on Nikolai, you are now in the realm of her attention, having freed Bloody Maria.
Yep.
All of you have gone, so it is the monster's turn. She is going to I don't know who she's she's going to attack Nikolai. However, as she attacks, a hand comes out of the blood that has been pouring from your open wound and other open wound now, and pulls her down. She is not able to attack this round because Blade Maria is free and is also on your team. So the top of the round, Blood Maria is going to say, Jacob, you go next.
We got the most of the town going towards the
And there is no chance Angelica will see with like Bloody Maria free, and both Nikolai and Roisin like having her attention. The town could like kick her, she wouldn't notice.
I mean, yeah, Jacob's gonna come up and kick her.
Roll to hit.
Well, that is not as good as I would have liked. It's 2.
You kick her, but you are unable to actually do any damage. She is a hardy creature. All right, who would you like to nominate to go next?
Bloody Maria can go next.
Wrecker!
Bloody Maria could do a lot of damage, but Bloody Maria will instead, you all hear that scream that happened before. But it doesn't seem targeted at you, so you do not suffer the consequences. Roll. Angelica, on the other hand, does, and is paralyzed for this next round. Nikolai. If you're talking, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm muted, sorry. I want to use cunning and close combat to go for the weak spots of Angelica to just kind of do the most damage.
All right.
That's 4 hits.
Yep, that hits. You notice that throughout even when she first met you, there was one part of her body that she kept at a distance from you all. Her wings.
Let's rip off some wings and collect them.
So because Angelica is unable to move, you're able to rip off one wing.
Perfect. And I'll let Roisin go next.
I will try to do the same thing. It's just I am pissed off. I am angry. I am just yelling nonsense to her about trying to how like this is a taste of your own medicine. How does it feel to have your own wings clipped off? Just calling her all nasty things while trying to rip them off or at least like tear off the feathers.
Then you can also do a academic and dex roll.
So do I get any bonuses now? Do I with those claws as well?
Yes. I think the claws gave you two extra hits, if I remember correctly.
I've written down the page 242, but I do not have the book open.
Yeah, we'll say it gives you like 2 extra hits. That tends to be a good solid thing.
Okay, and that is I 4 this time. Wow. Finally,
4?
I got some good rolls.
4?
Yay.
Is that
Yeah.
including the 2?
Yes, including 2.
Okay. So that is definitely enough to remove her remaining wing, and like she's slowly regaining movement. She's like, and she's trying to say, "Stop! You don't know what you're doing."
Quick question. She mentioned that Maria was a Scion, right? Do we know the term Scion?
Yes. In the world that I tend to run, like Scions are very out in the open.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you like definitely know that Maria was a Scion, had a divine connection somehow. Like the specifics might be lost on you, but essentially you will be like, oh, so yeah, like you have just told us Maria is the hero and you are the asshole. Unfortunately, with her 2 wings gone and being paralyzed, Maria is finally strong enough to pull her down through the blood.
Bye, Felicia.
Spitting.
Yeah.
Still angry. You don't hurt my friends. That's not okay.
You look back to the house as like the townsfolk like stream in. The world changing back to normal, the sky turning black because it is night, no longer like purple foliage, and you see what appears to be like a 13-year-old girl and her 7-year-old brother with a teddy bear, and they just wave.
Little wave back before kind of coughing in pain.
You do still have a hole in your stomach.
Can I try to support Nikolai in some way? Maybe try to do something. I don't.
You can do a medicine or academics roll. You're going to have 2 enhancement because somehow the crows that are now here again have brought an entire suite of medical supplies.
See, I keep telling everyone that these birds are so sweet. I don't get why everyone is giving them such a bad rep. All right. So academics and intelligence, you said.
Yeah.
So I got 3 successes.
Okay, that's enough to stop the bleeding, sufficiently enough to get him to the hospital. And as you drive off, I think that's where we'll end. The story of Bloody Mary, or Bloody Maria, who had been cursed, has been lifted. The town will return to prosperity, and you all have had your first encounter with what is beyond the pale as you begin your journeys into herodom and divinity. Thank you all for joining. This has been an amazing time. To end, we're just going to have players introduce themselves once more and who their characters are having experienced this. So let's start with the new doctor, apparently, Roisin.
Hello. So I've been playing Roisin, she, her. My name is Bianca. Pronouns are also she, her. Thank you very much for watching us. And you can find me on Twitter on Potato Juzu. Yes, it is a fabulous vegetable. Maybe not for drinking juice. I'm not that active anymore, but when opportunity presents itself, I like to dabble with tabletop RPGs. By daytime, I work as a game content designer.
Beautiful. Let's go with he with many holes in his body now. Nicola.
Yeah. Hi. As Wessels, he, him. I was playing Nikolai James Hardington, a scion of Tiamat. You can find me on Twitter at gaming_pilgrim. I don't do anything fancy with writing for gaming content and stuff like that. I more dabble in playing with it. That's about it.
Lovely. And he who has been a god, been a hero, and back to being an origin character again, Jacob.
Hello, I am Zachary Naldret, he, him. You can find me on the Bird app at Zach Rules down here. I'm going to keep talking because Dorktales just went to ads, so people who aren't subscribed aren't actually hearing what I'm saying. Thank you for that, Twitch. Anyways, damn, it's a lot of ads. I'm not going to keep talking that long because I have another game in half an hour. So, yeah, come back here. I'll be back here in half an hour.
Nice. Well, then, for those of you who are subscribed, thank you so much for watching. But yeah, this has been Scion Ultra. Thank you again, and we will see you soon.